well, welcome to the brewery today. Today we are brewing up an Arrogant Bastard clone. If you ever go in the store, this is our It's Friday kit. It's an American Strong Ale. This kit is badass. It is just a dead ringer for Arrogant Bastard. But anyway, what I wanted to do though today is demonstrate the brew in a bag with the no sparge method of all grain brewing. It is absolutely the simplest way to brew all grain that there is. It just requires a kettle, a burner, the bag, and that's it. I have some other things hooked up here, though you don't have to have them. These are just some things that I have in my system, but they're not necessary. The only thing that's necessary: kettle, bag, burner, and you're golden. This method is so simple. Now we have taken the liberty just to keep time short. We've already heated our water up to our strike temperature. In this case, we were shooting for 148 degrees mash temperature. So we heated this water up to about 155 degrees. Then we went ahead and we stirred in our grains. And we'll show you kind of what that looks like here in a little bit. And by the time we got done stirring in the grains, we checked our mash temperature, and our grain is sitting at 148 degrees, which is exactly where I want it to be. So at this point right now, we are mashing. Our timer is set. Because we're mashing at such a low temperature, we're going to be mashing for about 90 minutes today. Good news is you're not going to have to sit there and watch it all, because it's a pretty simple process. But anyway, I'm going to grab the camera here and just show you a close-up here of what this looks like. So as you can see, I've got some little clips on here, depending on the kettle you use. You may or may not need them, but they're just to kind of hold the bag in place. Then we have our brew in a bag. This is what's going to separate the wort from the grain when the mash is done. And as you can see, we've just got some really, you should smell this thing. I wish we had smell-o-vision. This smells amazing. And that's the grain mashing. And essentially we're going to keep an eye on the temperature. If it starts to dip down below 148 degrees, then we'll kick our burner on, bring it back up, and then let it go again. And we're going to do this for about 90 minutes. But absolutely simple. The only thing we did is we put all of our water in here. We heated it up to our strike temperature of 155 degrees. Then we went ahead and added our grains in there, and we're now mashing at 148 degrees. Super simple. Took all of about maybe 10 minutes. But that's the process. And then we'll go over, I know, like how we heat it up and maintain the temperature a little bit later. Okay, everybody, it's been about 15 minutes or so, we're going to go ahead and check the temperature again, see where we're sitting at. And again, you know, as you do this with your own system, you know, you just have to cut it down. Everybody's system is going to be a little bit different. You know, this kettle's a little heavier, other kettles might be thinner, you might have the lid on, you might not have the lid on. All these things will affect how often you'll need to adjust temperature. There's also some guys just wrap their kettle in a blanket, let it go, or a sleeping bag, or I've seen guys make you know, thermal blanket, you know, like take thermal insulation and wrap around it. Anything you can do to hold the temperature as close as you can to your mash temperature is what you want to do, and you'll just kind of find out what works best for you. And to me, I just like the simplicity of turning the burner on a little bit, stirring a little bit, and raising the temperature up. So as I look at this, we have lost about a degree. It's at it's actually at 146.9. So we're going to go ahead and fire up the burner here. Fire up the burner. We're going to open the doors here a little bit so we can get a little air in here. You know, always be careful using the burner in a all ventilated area if you're indoors. And we'll just go ahead and run this burner, you know, in kind of a medium-low heat, and we should get our degree back here pretty quick. All right. Now, just that fast. I'm up to actually 149.4. So it heats up. Mine heats up really quick. So we'll go ahead and let it stay there again. If we're within a degree, we don't worry about it too much. And we'll bag back up here so we can get the lid on. There we go. Okay, well, our mash is done, and I gotta tell you, I'm just so thrilled with this kettle. Over a 90-minute mash, we've only had to adjust the temperature 3 times, and I'm just kind of floored with that. I've done brewing a bag in some other kettles where I'm probably doing about every 7-8 minutes, and to only have to do this 3 times was absolutely crazy. I mean, this kettle with its clad bottom just holds heat like crazy. I'm super happy with it. Anyway, so our 90-minute mash is done. So now it's time to remove the bag. Now this is where it helps to, I might show you just how weak I am. So essentially we're going to gather up the bag as best we can. And this is only 18 pounds of grain, soaking wet. So let's see if I can get it out here one-handed or not. I may or may not be able to. I've seen guys with brewing bag setups, they actually set up a pulley, from their ceiling and hoist the bag out of the kettle with a pulley. I haven't done that. So anyway, we're going to try and do this one-handed here and see what we can do. Oh, we're not going to be able to do it. Okay, I'm going to need my handy brewing assistant. And there you go. There we go. And we're going to let this drain here for a little bit. And when this draining slows down, then we're going to squeeze it like it owes us money. We want to get every last drop out of this thing that we can. Okay, now we're going to squeeze the bag. Now you may have heard stories out there that, oh my God, don't squeeze the bag. Well, I'm here to tell you, squeeze it like it owes you money. It makes no difference. It's not going to hurt anything to squeeze the bag. You're not going to extract tannins. You're not going to do anything bad. You're not going to make the beer more cloudy. Nothing. Squeeze it. You want all the wort out of here that you can get. Now, in this case, the way I do it is a little messy. I'm probably going to get some stuff dripping down the sides, but that's okay. You can hear how much more wort we're extracting out of this thing. The lid makes it nice and handy. I'm not getting burned by squeezing the very hot bag. So we're just going to squeeze this until we get as much wort out as we can, and then we're going to start our boil. Okay, we've squeezed the bag now, and we should have the full amount of wort in our kettle that we want to start with. Now, I use Beersmith to calculate my recipes and my wort volumes and that sort of thing. I highly recommend it. This is something we don't sell at Brew and Grow, so this is a completely unsolicited recommendation. Beersmith is awesome. Anyway, so Beersmith says I should have 8.65 gallons of wort in here, which we're going to be boiling down to a 6-gallon batch of beer when we're done. And that's exactly what we have. So Beersmith, as usual, is just right on the money. So we've got our full volume of wort. So we're going to go ahead and fire up the burner. All right, we're going to get a little air in here so we don't die. And so you can see just how simple this process is. We just took a kettle, we filled it up with water, put the bag in, heated it up to the temperature we wanted, added our grains, and checked it a few times and heated it back up to make sure we maintained the temperature a few times over the last hour and a half. And now we're ready to start our boil. It's just that simple. This is absolutely the easiest way to all grain brew. Right now we've got 8.65 gallons of delicious wort. that we're going to bring to a boil. So at this point in time, that's essentially all you need to know. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you've brewed before, so you know how to conduct a boil. And basically, if you're able to replicate what we just showed you here today, you can be an all-grain brewer. Simple as that. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.